Hey, Seth, I was just looking at obviously Nashville is the first two games. You're in Nashville. It's been a while since that trade and you playing there, but does Nashville at all like hold kind of a special place for you because that's where you started your career at all? And do you still are you friends still pretty good friends with Roman Yossi and those kind of guys?
Yeah, I am. Nashville will always, have a place in my heart. They drafted me, and I learned a lot. And while I played for that organization for 2.5 years, and I would say grew up a lot as well. And you know, everything that for Barry Trotz and Lobby Led and that coaching staff and the guys I played with, helped me tremendously when I was a 19-year-old. So definitely still keep in touch with those guys and we're all kind of living these weird lives right now. But I'll be happy to play against them and see them again.
So is there, I mean, how much camaraderie is there with even, Shea Weber? Obviously, you lived with him. He's in Montreal. I mean, when you see these guys around the league, do you guys talk about, the couple of those years that you played in Nashville or anything or have memories that way?
Yeah, we were actually me, Weber, and Yossi were in St. Louis for the All Star game. Was that last year or 2 years ago? Yeah, last year I think. And so we went to dinner and reminiscing on old times and things like that. And it was a lot of fun, sitting down with those guys again and just talking. So that was the last time that we really sat down and had a conversation.
What's it like for you now to be back in the Central Division? I know it's a realigned thing. It's not the same as it was before, but is it kind of fun to look on there and see Blackhawks, Nashville, Red Wings for you?
Yeah, teams I like you said, big divisional games I played when I first came in the league. So it does feel. I think Dallas was in there as well. So it does feel a little bit, like the old days. So I'm excited to be back in the division.
Last one for me is just what have you learned most? I guess from those days, from when you first came into the league, you're 18, 19. What like where is there one area where you can really point to and say, yeah, I'm a much different player that way than I was then?
I think the consistency factor for me, that's something that I've always wanted to work on. And, as a 19-year-old, you come in, you have great games and you have stretches of bad games. And, I obviously learned from, some of the best defensemen in the league and Weber and Yossi was a young guy, but still getting 60 points a year back then. And we had Ekholm and Alice who were young guys as well, but very steady defensemen. So I had to play consistent to earn my minutes every night. It wasn't, they weren't just given to me. They weren't given to anybody in that decor because we were pretty deep. So that's one thing I took away from that is to be that consistent player that the team can count on every night.
Thanks.
Question goes to Jeff Svoboda. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Seth. Thanks for doing this. Wanted to ask, one of the focuses of this camp has been kind of maybe opening up a little bit offensively and pushing the pace a little bit. With the skills that you and Zach have and that combo of what you guys are able to kind of go, with your pace and being able to go forward, do you think that kind of game really suits what the two of you guys bring to the table?
For sure. Me and Zach always want to push the pace with the puck. Obviously our job is to keep the puck out of our net first, but it's also our job to create offense, create scoring chances for the team. And like I said, play with pace. So that's why sometimes you see both of us up in the play at the same time because we both want to make that play for the team offensively and try to put pucks in the net. So we're not going to stop doing that. We're going to continue to play the same way. Hopefully we can put average a few more goals a game this year. Not a few, but more than last year. That would be great.
You talked when we talked to you before practices started, just how it was kind of a fine line of playing, getting more offense but not giving up anything defensively. But do you have a comfort through the first week of feeling out kind of what Torts wants out of you guys as far as that goes? Just making sure you're on the right side of that fine line.
For sure. I don't think our identity is going to change at all. We obviously want to put more pucks in the net and create more, but it can't change the way, the character of our team and the identity of our team that's made us successful, over these past few years. But at the same time, it is a fine line between, taking dumb chances offensively and giving up. We don't want to get into a track meet. So, we're well aware of that. I think we're mature enough to understand what Torts is asking from us.
One more I wanted to ask about Michael Delzato, a guy that's been in the league for a long time. You've probably seen him on other teams over the years, but now to have him on your side, just seeing him up close as a defenseman, what kind of stands out about his game?
Well, you can just see the awareness that he has. He's a veteran guy. I actually play with him in Nashville my first year. We picked him up at the deadline. So he was in Nashville with me my first year for the second half of the season. And, a great guy, great team guy in the room. He's definitely going to bring a veteran presence for us on the blue line. Can play special teams as well if need be. And, seems very steady. So we're looking forward to having him in a Blue Jacket jersey.
Thank you.
Next question goes to Aaron Portzline. Go ahead, Aaron.
Thanks, Glenn. Thanks, Seth. Seth, what's the vibe around the power play right now, and how do you keep optimism and sort of a good feeling about that going into this season? I know it's going to be important. I know it's struggled for a few years. What's just the general feeling around that right now?
Well, it's a new year. We can't focus on what happened last year. It's definitely been a struggle point for our team. Been pretty inconsistent, but we have some new guys on it. It's a new year. We're going to take it one power play at a time. We've worked a lot on it in this camp, and we understand in a short season, we're going to need our power play to win us games. Sometimes, we're going to need to go 2 for 4, 2 for 5, things like that, and get more than one sometimes to score goals. And so. We understand the pressure that's on us, but, it's good pressure, and we have to be able to do a job out there for the rest of the team and not take anything for granted when we're out there.
Yeah. Brad Larson is the coach again. How different is the message from one year to the next? And is it the message that has an impact on how you guys perform, or is it, in your mind, mostly just the new personnel you see?
It's no difference in the message. We want to be an attacking team. We want to make great plays and get good opportunities, but we also want to attack, shoot the puck, great screens in front, create havoc. There's a lot of analytics that go into power plays. We just want to attack, and we want to be lethal out there. When we smell blood, we want to score and make them pay for taking a penalty.
Yeah. Have you thought, so a lot of people think of you as being in that cluster of defensemen, a Norris Trophy type defenseman. I think the one thing that people appreciate about your game when they see you more and more is your play all over the ice, defensively as well as offensively. So many times voters vote based upon the points. Do you feel like if you have that explosive offensive season, that maybe that's the last hurdle between you and getting the easy votes from people who only look at the stats out there, or have you thought about that at all?
I have thought about it. Obviously a goal of mine is to win the Norris Trophy one day in my career. And, I guess I'm in that cluster of defensemen every year. And, I want to obviously, put myself over the top. And, in order to do that, I'm going to have to score more points. That's just the way it is. Last year I got hurt, but I still didn't have great point totals and in the games I did play. And, obviously I'm going to have to produce a little bit more offensively. No, that doesn't mean I'm going to change the way I play at all, but I'm going to try to capitalize on more scoring chances, more shots around the net that I get, plays on the rush. I got to be better in those areas because, like you said, voters do look at points, and I definitely want to be considered in that group of elite defensemen.
Thank you.
Next question goes to Dave Metzel. Go ahead, Dave.
Hey, Seth, good to see you again. I'm going to take you away from the rink a little bit. In a non-COVID year, training camp would be a time when you guys might go out to lunch afterwards, go out to dinner, whatever. Obviously, the emphasis is on safety and keeping yourself in safe situations. How have you filled that void? What do you do? Do you go home and watch Netflix, or what kind of things do you do in this unusual environment that we're all in?
I picked up gaming a little bit, so I do that with some of the guys every day. But Netflix shows. I was already a big cooker before, but now even more than ever, I'm not really going out to dinner anywhere. So I'm really just going to the grocery store to get essentials and get things to cook, and then going home. So cooking has been a big part of that, and there's been some sports on too. So watching football, watching basketball, things like that.
Have you elevated your game in the kitchen? You think you're a better chef?
I want to say so, but I don't know if I can critique my own food. I think someone else has got to do that. I'm going to say it's good every time.
And just one more on this same kind of theme. Generally road trips, you guys have places where you go, you look forward to whatever. In Nashville, obviously you'd have a favorite place. How do you envision this being different? You're going to be traveling to these cities that you're familiar with, but really not allowed to soak any of it in. You're going to be in your hotel room, you're going to be at the rink, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's going to be similar to the bubble, but we'll be traveling from city to city. We're not allowed to go to dinner on the road. I think we can just go for walks. Yeah, I think that's it. And so it's going to be a lot of a lot of hanging out with the guys. I'm sure guys will bring their gaming consoles again, like in the bubble. I think we're going to get ping pong tables and cards and things like that. So I'm sure we'll get sick of each other after a while, but we'll see how it goes.
Thanks, Seth.
Next question goes to Brian Hedrick. Go ahead, Brian.
Hey, just really quick, getting back to the power play. What do you think Max Domi can really bring to your guys' power play? I mean, and maybe Grigorenko as well. There's some new faces that are coming in. I know it's only been a week and a half or something. You got plenty more work to do, but just from what you've seen initially, is there some potential there for those guys?
100%. I think they bring patience to our power play. They bring creativity. They bring vision. Domi's playing half wall and Griggs is in the middle. But very smart. Griggs is very smart in the middle. He can find areas. He can distribute the puck well. And then Domes, and he's very capable of making the right decision. I think when it comes to the power play, the half wall is an important decision, important position when it comes to making decisions for the power play and setting the pace and the tempo that we want to play at. So. He's got a shot from there, and he can distribute from there. So I love the addition to our power play, and I think they're going to help tremendously this year.
Does your mom know about your new gaming habit?
She does. She does.
Okay.
Yeah.
She approves. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I'm not making her mad or doing something to piss her off.
Like the old days.
Exactly.
Hey, any more questions for Seth? Going once, going twice. All right. Thanks, Seth.